claps.
All right.
Well, hey guys, what's up? And
hold on, stop. Restart because you got in my clap mode. You gotta restart.
I got into your clap.
All right.
All right, cool. Hey guys, I'm Bryant. I am one half of Hard Luck Media, and this is my partner Andrew.
Life partner, Andrew.
Hetero life partner, Andrew. That's what we'll call it. We're here as a part of Hard Luck Media. We never do stuff like this before, so we thought it'd be kind of cool to like break out of our norm of doing like short films and doing music videos and doing weddings and everything. We want to do stuff that you guys might like, and that's talk about movies. Like, we could talk about this shit all day. So, we want to talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead.
We've got popcorn and we've got coffee. Let's talk. Alright, so here we go. Ash vs. Evil Dead stars original series, obviously starring Bruce Campbell, which of course is, the least they can do for continuing on the series.
Dude, for being as old as he is, he actually looks really good. I'm surprised that he like gained it in his face. You could see, and they crack jokes about it the whole time. You know, he talks about like, oh, I'm 10 pounds overweight, and she's like, really? And he's like, oh, I'm 30 pounds overweight, doesn't matter. But he still looks good. Like, he looks maybe just like he had a bad hangover and a lot to drink in the past like few years, but he still looks good, man.
He plays true Ash, true Bruce Campbell himself. It's the same as he was in the original film.
He has like that crude. He's got like that crude humor. He has like some kind of, I don't know. He's like an asshole, but he knows it.
He's like that uncle that you weren't supposed to be left alone with. And it plays up exactly. You know, if you were to watch this in the 80s, you would think that this was, just a sequel to the films, because it's so closely matched to it that it's ridiculous. Other than him looking a little bit older, but and this scene here is fantastic. He's trying to hit on this woman in the bar. He's, Bruce Campbell. He's doing his thing. He's got
that attitude about him anyway. Like in all the other movies, he's had like this suave, like I wouldn't say like suave, but he gets the girls. He has his way with the ladies. And this scene is nothing more than just solidifying he's still the same guy. He hasn't changed in 30 years. And like what Andrew said, it's like you're watching a sequel. The show and the movie, they tie in pretty well, and they keep the storyline going so that you didn't feel like you missed anything. Like, you don't have to be a fan to get hooked to the show. You know what I mean? Like, you can just start watching the show and be like, that's pretty cool. I need to watch the movies now.
I mean, and what it comes down to it, too, is obviously who's involved with it, which is Sam Raimi, of course,
And his brother, Ivan.
Yeah, his younger brother? Is it younger brother?
Sam is the middle child, I believe. We actually looked this up right now. Sam's the middle child. He's the older brother to Ted. They have another brother who's an actor. And Ivan is the oldest. So there's three brothers.
Right, and Ivan helped with Spider-Man 3, I believe Army of Darkness, and of course this, along many other things, but those are...
They actually got a lot of cool stuff in this show that they've had throughout all of their filmography, like movies, like pretty much everything. For example, they have this car. Sam Raimi uses this car in pretty much every movie that he does, and it's kind of like his thing, how Quentin Tarantino has Red Apple cigarettes and all that shit. Sam Raimi has his 1980 boat car, the Buick. I think it's a Buick. I want to say it's a Buick, but I could be wrong. I don't know cars for
I don't think
for anything.
I don't think so, but
or an Oldsmobile or something, dude. It's just an old beige colored car from the 80s, and something that he used to drive, and he used it in all the original Evil Deads. He used it in Spider-Man. It was Uncle Ben's car, so they Uncle Ben. Yeah, so sad.
Tobey Maguire, so sad. I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. I don't care for Andrew Garfield whatsoever. Fuck the Amazing Spider-Man film.
It's so funny because Tobey Maguire's like 30 years old playing a 15-year-old, and he does a good job at it.
It's like Mario Lopez in Saved by the Bell. Wasn't he older, or was he?
I think so. Yeah, I think he had to have been in like his 20s maybe, and he was playing a teenager. They do that for everybody, though. They do it in all horror movies. They get all these old fucking guys, and they make them look young.
Well, I'm sure Neve Campbell was in high school age. None of them were. Matthew Lillard and Scream, they were like...
they had to have been in their 20s, man. Those guys were a little bit older than teenagers to be in the movie.
Oh, of course, but,
Sidetracking.
Frankie Muniz, and Malcolm in the Middle. Wasn't he like 30 when he did Malcolm in the Middle?
Really?
Yeah, he was like 30.
Is he one of those short guys? He's just really short. He's just like an adult man, like Gary Coleman.
Man. Yeah, or we can even go even further, like Vern Troyer.
Vern Troyer's it's a little smaller on the scale. I'm thinking like adult-looking dwarfism, but that's different. I'm going to hell. I'm sorry.
I know some people like that. Well, this right here, this is showing where Ash, he goes and you learn why he's seeing all the demons again, and it's because he opened the Book of the Dead, and apparently he was high. This is a flashback. And he was getting drunk with this girl, and they started smoking weed and started.
They started
laughing.
the chant. They started the kunda.
Exactly. They started the chant reading.
Mistro Bene or whatever. It sounds like Italian.
Yeah, and he was so fucked up that he didn't know what he was doing.
That part's great. That part's awesome.
How great is this?
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of you. The end. You know how the end blinks red and black? It reminded me of how you did your reel video.
Our cinematography reel. Which is great. And again here, let's check this out. This is the demon cam, or what they deem as the demon cam.
Classic. This has been in all of their films.
Here, this is probably all CGI'd, but in the original films, it was two guys running with a board. With
You think that's CGI? I don't think that's CGI. I think they just have a jib that can drive. Like
a jib that can drive over.
They might have like one of those like off-road arm jibs that they don't even need to put it on a plank. Because how they used to do it, they had just a plank with the camera sitting on top. One guy holds the other, and the other guy holds the other side, and they would just run like apes, like real low, and move the fucking plank all around and get that demon view.
Or so legend has it.
Or so legend has it.
This part, of course, is great. Apparently, these police, if I remember correctly, they are going to. Where were they going? I don't remember why
they come to a disturbance, and I actually like this. You know, to touch on what you said. They added another twist because in the original film, Evil Dead just takes place in a cabin and he's with his friends. There's no cops. There's no there's just no other entities involved from just these kids. There's no like adults. There's no firefighters. There's nobody. It's just them. So this right here gives it a sense of realism to know that like they're in real time though. It's not like a fantasy world. They're not in a cabin anymore. They're not in the woods anymore. This is going to start to affect a lot of people. I think that's why they added this scene with the cops. So that way they have another, which I believe this character, I wish I knew her name, but she's going to become, I believe, a key asset to the show too because of what she experiences in this scene.
If she continues on, she's going to inevitably link up with Ash, and it'll be...
that's what they're setting it up for.
Hilarity will ensue. This, of course, is a great part. It's a very creepy... this is the part that had me like, what the fuck here.
If you guys are squeamish, you don't like blood or you don't like bones cracking or anything, this is not for you. I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the show you guys are going to want to watch. We got a little buffer here going on, but that's all right. In this scene, they basically stumble upon the girl who read the poem with Ash, and you don't really know it until they tell her to put her hands up. She puts her hands up, and there's a tattoo that they showed before, and then they start showing it again in this scene. So you make the connection like, oh shit, that's the girl that Ash was with. So she like raises her hands up, and she fucking breaks her neck and breaks her arms so that her body is pretty much turned like this, but this is her back, and her fucking chest is in the front.
So let's watch it. Let's check it out and see what happens.
I love what they do right here with the sheet.
As we're going through this, let's talk about the prosthetic makeup artist, which is Michael Krell, I believe that's correct. And he worked on the Hobbit movies, and he also worked on Star Wars Episode 3 of all things. And he was the makeup artist for Xena.
Oh yeah, and speaking of Xena, she's in here. We'll get to that, but she's in here.
And this part right here.
I love the suspense they build up in this part too. Whoever the team that came together to do this, they've worked together before because it just went well. Like it went together so well. The score, the high-pitched orchestrated like violin screeches and stuff like that. Even the look of it, like it's still got like a little grainy 80s feel to it.
This is the best thing I've seen in horror in a long time right here.
This is what I was telling you guys. You guys make the connection that she was with Ash because of that tattoo. Could you imagine experiencing this in real life? Oh, this is so gross, dude. This is so gross.
It even fucks me up watching it now. Look at that. Like, what the fuck?
And the way it walks, she's like walking at you like this. But look, her arms are normal right there. You saw her hands? Her hands were normal. But back right here, they're not. This is a really cool shot right here, too. Boom. Scissor to the hand. That's terrifying.
You call that Jesus Christ style right there?
Yeah, Jesus Christ style. Bam, bam. We're already going to hell. Who cares? One of the things I really love about the Evil Dead series too is that these aren't zombies, you know what I mean? So you don't shoot them in the head and it's done. Like, you gotta blow their fucking heads off in order to not even experience it. Even then you might get possessed, because...
I'm gonna cut you up into little pieces!
What I think happens now, what they're trying to like develop in the movie, because they did it in the movie too, but they're doing it in the show now, is I feel like if you come in contact with it, or if you're pretty much attacked by it, or if you try to kill it and it's dead, it comes inside of you. That sounded so wrong. That sounded so wrong.
Basically, they're going off like a zombie trope. Like, you know, if you get attacked by a zombie, you become a zombie. Or, unless you're Walking Dead, if you just die, you become a zombie. But Romero style, you know, if you get bitten by a zombie, you become a zombie. Or, you know, any kind of vampire film. But this right here is a pretty great scene.
I love the gun she has.
There's one thing in this movie, or in this show that I did dislike. And it's actually when she kills her partner here, and just the CGI
For his head?
Yeah, it's just I'm not totally sold whether it's supposed to be that cheesy, because the rest of the gore does not look that bad. It looks fantastic, but here, just this shot, the headshot to her partner, just looks terrible.
What I like about this scene right here is how they're using a lighting technique to transform between the demon and his regular self. Because in the Evil Dead series too, the demons take form of the person that they've possessed, and they mimic, and they do stuff that, you know, real demons would do. And like at this point, he was sitting down, he was crying like, why do this to me? And the light comes back to him, and his teeth are all fucked up, and it's the demon version of him. I just love the way that the light went around, and it circled around maybe about twice before you saw him transform.
Here's what I'm talking about right here. Watch close.
He does like this 300 leap at her. He
exactly.
like, ah!
And that's the thing.
They did such a good job though of it, the mouth, like his teeth.
He was a fantastic actor. I wish he would have stayed around a little longer.
Carson, I think that's the name of the agent, not the actor.
See, I wasn't feeling that at all. Like,
I think they made it. I think it was supposed to look like that, man.
I believe it was supposed to look like that, but I think that they could have done a lot better had they just kept with their original style and just, you know, I mean, you saw 2 headshots before that, and they were fucking fantastic.
Yeah, oh yeah, the squibs.
Like, you know, I mean, maybe if you're watching this in 3D back in the 80s or early 90s, that would have been awesome, but, you know, at this point, you know, we want to see, you know.
I want to see some real violence. Like, I want to see, you know, like Star Wars. Like, I want some animatronics. I want some Tom Savini looking like demons that you control from a switchboard and stuff like that. I mean, that was pretty cool though, as far as everything else that led up to that point. They do still have that sense of unrealism in the show, just as like there's a part where a doll comes to life and bites his face and he's fighting it, and the part where he jumps for his chainsaw, he like Michael Jordan springs across the room, But then he lands all normal. He's like fucking flying across the room, and then he's like,
That reminded me so much of Sharknado. Remember when he's jumping and the shark is coming and he goes through the shark's mouth and it fucking just cuts out of that motherfucker? But let me just say that Bruce Campbell's great in this, but he is not my favorite. He's not my favorite actor or actress in this entire film or in this entire show. In this episode, so to speak, my favorite person in the show is actually this old lady that's his neighbor right here. She's my favorite person in this episode. And it's just because there's a sweet little old lady somewhere that decided, she was going to go out for this Evil Dead part, and she fucking nailed it.
and she did awesome. They gave her these nasty ass claws. They fucking kept her fro looking the same. Her eyes are all like, it's just, they did such a great job on her. She can't be more than like, she's got to be more than like 65 years old. She's old. This lady's old as shit. To rebuttal, I guess, Ash isn't exactly my favorite character either. I tend to relate with Pablo more.
I bet you do. I bet you do relate with Pablo more.
I knew you were going to say something like that.
And you relate with this gardener guy too?
Hey, fuck you.
Okay.
Fuck that. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I would have gone with janitor, but gardener, shit.
Gardener, come on.
Damn, dude. Damn.
But
But Pablo, man, I like Pablo's character. He's almost like Ash's sidekick in this show. And he sets off a pretty good basis right off the bat. He's like, hey, man, you need somebody to cover your shit for you or when you don't come to work or something. He's basically like his errand boy. He doesn't want him to be. He doesn't want him to be anywhere near him but to cover his work shifts and stuff. And then just by a twist of fate, they end up together. They just have to.
he already knows Ash is a badass. That's what it is,
They do a lot of foreshadowing, too. Like, this whole episode, they foreshadowed to events that may have happened before. They actually do something pretty cool, too. They give people a recap of all the movies at some point because he talks to Pablo, and Pablo's like, what happened, man? How did this all happen? He tells him, long time ago, I found this book. My hand got possessed, and I hacked it off, and all this stuff. And they did this really cool thing on cardboard boxes. It's all like projection screens showing different scenes from the movie where he's cutting his hand off and blood squirting in his face and all that. And him killing his friends in the cabin, and then it shows Army of Darkness, and then it shows just stuff from Evil Dead. It's awesome.
Let's talk about this. I like how they're actually making Ash a normal functioning citizen of society. He works at apparently a shitty ass, looks like it would be like a Big Lots, discount.
Like H.H. Gregg almost.
A discount.
Like an appliance.
Walmart type deal. And he basically sucks. He has nothing. He works at a convenience store and he's a fuck up.
This reminds me of Kill Bill. I think it's the second one. When Michael Madsen's character gets fired from his job, he works at like a strip club or something like that.
Yes.
But he's not like, that's not his thing. He's an assassin. He doesn't want to fucking go out and work at a strip club. He wants to kill people and collect money and basically make things right for his brother.
That's a very weird comparison,
but that's what they gave to Bruce Campbell.
What you're saying makes sense in terms of
he's not a stock boy, man.
It's a bad motherfucker in a regular job.
Yeah. They pretty much housed a wild cat, or what was the thing from from The Walking Dead? It's like you can't make a stray cat stay indoors all the time or something like that.
No, I doubt that's what they said.
They said something. That's what they called Daryl. I don't know, dude. Whatever.
They called Daryl. Let's talk about his hair. His hair's pretty sweet.
Dude, this is Pablo. I tried to go for that look today, but it didn't actually work out. This show's really great, man. I can't praise it enough. Really, it's refreshing to see something like this because all it is now in Hollywood is superhero movies and remakes, and then you get your occasional franchise like Fast 8, Fast 9, Transformers, Paranormal Activity. You know what I mean?
Let's not talk about Transformers. They fucking shit the bed with that entire
Michael Bay.
Well, let's talk about how Marky Mark got in on that and did the shittiest movie of his life.
As Cade Wilson or something, or Dennis Cade, or whatever his fucking character was. And he had a super hot daughter. Did you ever notice that? Since we're just on the subject,
no, I did not
bullshit.
notice that.
Not in real life, but in the movie, he had a super hot daughter.
Oh no, I didn't even
Michael Bay doesn't believe in ugly people. He only wants pretty people in his movies, and I think that's kind of fucking fucked up. But whatever.
Really? Well,
we have dial-up, so that's part of the reason that it's buffering and stopping.
well, surely nobody's gonna listen to all this. We're just gonna cut all this out.
You guys can go on to stars.com, and you can actually watch this for free. You can watch the first episode. I'm not sure if you can watch all the other ones, but the first episode is available on stars.com. Ash versus Evil Dead.
Well, here we go. Skipping ahead. Let's take a look at this. This is where the demons are coming into Ash's his motorhome here, and
Let's talk about how they got here first. So he's at work. He plans to just pick up his paycheck and leave because this stuff is going to happen. He knows it. This is just like 30 years ago. So he's getting ready to leave, and he can't leave work. He's bound to being at work. And this kid comes with him. And this girl comes too because shit starts to go down and they're not going to stay around at all for it. So they go to his trailer, and the whole time Pablo's telling him, like, dude, you need to take care of this. Like, you're the only person I think that can handle this. And they all start experiencing the demons, which I think I like the camera effect.
Are they gonna get in?
Oh, they're coming in all right.
Right, so,
This part's awesome.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it's
Isn't that the shirt he wore in all the other movies? That blue color or something?
I believe it's something very similar to that. You know, I mean, he
This is the moment that everybody waited for the whole time. Because you know he's got the rosewood hand, and you're just like, dude.
and look who it is. It's the gardener that you identified with.
Boom.
Boom.
Fucking
Boom.
asshole.
Right there. You fucking god, look at him.
Dude, that guy can take a beating though.
Oh,
I
right
can
here,
identify
right
with this
here,
guy.
right here.
Boom, not here.
Headshot. See, that's what I'm talking about. How much better did that gore look than the police detective? They got his head
That's so
blown off.
awesome. And this Kelly chick, super cute, by the way. I'm gonna go ahead and just say that. I'm gonna be the only one to say it. And you know what's really cool? The hand. I can't get over that they gave him a rosewood hand. I don't think in any of the other movies he had something in place of his nub. He just had the chainsaw attachment. I don't think he had anything else. He had the leather thing that he puts his shotgun or whatever, his holster. Not sure.
Not sure.
Oh, it's on his back. Sorry, not on his hand. I'm tripping.
A whole lot more people would die.
That part's really funny too. He's like, first thing we got to do is we got to make sure we get to this guy to read this book. Then the first thing on top of that I got to do is cardio because my heart is jackhammering like a quarterback on prom night.
That's the line right there.
That's the line. I had to remember that one. I like the combo that they have with the three of them though.
This right here. This is the shot.
This is his dream girl. This is who he identifies with. Not her. Sweet old granny.
There we go. Look at that. Hi, Grandma.
I think what's really creepy is when she's reaching to Kelly's face and she's like, "Oh, Puddin', would you like some cookies?" And she's saying like weird shit, like if you just in your
I
eyes.
mean, this is legit somebody's grandma right here that is fucking in Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'm just saying, that's somebody's grandma, and she is kicking ass. Look at this.
And I love that I don't know, man. This show, I'm like sucking this show's metaphorical ego. But the interactions that all the characters have with each other, they just put all the right pieces into place to make this. They've got a great special effects team. They've got a great makeup team. They have great writers. They got great DP cinematographers. The storyboarding's great. Everything is great about this. The only honest thing that I can say was bad was that gore, that one headshot that he pointed out to me today. I didn't even know about that till today.
You know, I mean, it's not that it was bad, but it stuck out to me. You know,
We're artists, man. We noticed that shit.
That was like the wackest like trip, but you know what? It's Ash vs. Evil Dead, so it's okay. You know, it's the Evil Dead universe. You can get away with it.
This is when she starts saying the weird shit. She's like potted cakes. Let me just touch you. You're like, fuck.
I just want to put these.
Oh, muffin or some shit. For a second, I thought her nails were growing, and I thought that was kind of out of place until I watched it for like the third time. Here's where that breaking that sense of realism comes in handy, because what are the chances that this dude at the angle that he's at can kick this as far as he does?
What's the chance that anybody can lift a chainsaw with their foot? You know, this is all.
Let alone on your hand, but that's what makes it so great. Here's this Superman, this Michael Jordan Space Jam dunk said with a chainsaw.
And this is the fucking decapitation right here.
It's time to dance.
This part is awesome. And I like how the chainsaw is not exactly straight on his hand too, because when he holds it, it's set a weird angle where like the handle's up here or something. Like I would imagine that if you had a chainsaw, you'd want it to be in your hand like this, but I think he's got it like this. It's weird.
How great. I mean, that's fucking phenomenal right there. That's phenomenal work.
Also, watch the blood squirt out of her neck when she hits the ground. Not from her head though, from her body. Watch this. This part's great. It's like. That's my sound effect for blood. He says something right here that's like
How does it feel?
iconic ending.
Groovy.
Check out this fucking.
I love this.
Evil Dead right there. That right there is
80s.
Very 70s, 80s fucking grindhouse.
And there are all the credits right there for everybody in case you didn't catch the names that we were talking about here. So that's pretty much it. We talked about this film, or I keep calling it a film. We talked about this show. Maybe you guys will watch it, maybe not.
It's
Maybe you guys will.
cinematic TV series, you know. I mean, it's like Breaking Bad. It's almost like watching a movie, you know. It's fucking.
Can we talk about Breaking
Yeah, let's
Bad?
take one for Walter White real quick.
Can we talk about Breaking Bad?
Let's take one for Walter White.
Cheers.
You guys are lucky that we did not start doing this during Breaking Bad, because it would have fucking.
Every Sunday.
It would have been 2 hours per whatever the fuck this thing.
It would honestly be like a class, man. I would have brought out like a fucking little antenna thing and be like, pause the scene.
Yep.
In this scene right here, we have a handheld shot. I would just break it all
It would
down.
have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
You're lucky. Everybody watching this, you're fucking lucky.
so let's talk about. Let's move on from this and talk about. Let's talk about what's coming up. What are you looking forward to, Brian?
Well,
in terms of movies coming out right now.
What I can say is I'm looking forward to Goosebumps. A really good friend of ours, Lucky Mangione, is in the film. Mangione. We're giving him a shout out right now.
Manicotti, like an Italian, like a fine Italian dinner. He plays a character called the Creep.
The Creep Monster.
And he also plays. I don't know if you knew this or not. He plays a werewolf that does parkour in this.
Nice.
So I have yet to see it because it's just I've not got around to it, but I'm very excited to see it.
He hid inside an animal carcass
I heard
for the
that
thing?
he apparently hid inside an animal carcass and he was fighting off hypothermia, I believe.
But you know what's bullshit?
Don't even talk about the Oscar.
No, I'm not talking about no Oscar.
Okay, well,
I'm talking about him being a vegan, a pro-vegan, okay? This guy, he was like an executive producer on Cowspiracy, and you're lying inside an animal carcass? How full of shit are you? I love you, but dude, come on.
You're being full of shit.
Come on, man. You're being kind of a bitch.
That is kind of a bitch move.
You know, but whatever. To him, I don't care. He's not going to get an Oscar as long as his movies come out at the wrong time of the year. That's really why he doesn't get Oscars, because his movies come out in like November.
Well, I love Leo DiCaprio, but let's also talk about. I mean, there's actors that have been doing a better job than him. I mean, we can talk about
Gary Oldman.
Let's talk about Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club. Everybody got mad that Leo DiCaprio didn't get for Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street was not an Oscar-winning movie.
No, it wasn't.
Wolf of Wall Street.
I got judged for making fun of that movie,
Okay,
actually.
Wolf of Wall Street was a good movie, but it, in my opinion, is it's Scorsese's worst work. Like, I will take a Taxi Driver. course, Goodfellas, I'm throw it out there, is my favorite movie ever made by anybody. But I would take A Taxi Driver, I would take Mean Streets, I would even take...
Godfather.
I would,
2.
No, fucking not. I would even take,
Fucking not. All right.
Yeah, no, fucking not. No, I don't even give a flying fuck about any of the Godfathers.
I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio's good. Like fucking Gary Oldman, dude. Gary Oldman has been in a lot of movies, and that dude has not won an Oscar. Let's talk about that shit. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio's young. We need some of these older guys to get him.
Well, you know, I mean, they're all starting to die off, and you know, it's
Nicolas Cage needs some Oscars.
Leo will get his, but
Does Nicolas Cage have any Oscars?
Nicolas Cage has awards, but I'm unsure whether he has an Oscar or not. So let's watch this trailer, Brian, and let's.
Did you hear that Tom Hardy was chosen to be the new Wolverine? I don't know if that's true. Hugh Jackman said that if anybody were to do it, he would pick Tom Hardy. But I think that's a what do you say, conflict of interest, seeing as he was Bane.
Well,
So-
I'll tell you what I do know is true, that I don't give a flying fuck about Tom Hardy. So I'll tell you that I don't give a fuck about Tom Hardy. All right, so here's this trailer right here.
We're gonna make a lot of enemies.
Let's talk about some real talent here. Leo DiCaprio.
Did they shoot this on real film, by the way?
I believe this was shot on real film stock. Yes.
I ain't afraid to die anymore. I've done it already.
What is this, like 480p? You know, like. All right. Well, anyways, these battle.
I don't know what I'm watching.
These battle scenes are just fucking, you know, terrific. You know, they're raw, they're gritty. You know,
I honestly don't even know what this is about.
When he's running to shoots this dude out of the tree, like that shit. You know?
Oh, sick. Is that a kid?
No, it wasn't a kid.
No, the kid on his shoulders. Are you sick? I was asking if the person that was schlepped on his shoulder was a kid.
I think he was goddamn animal fur.
Dude, that was a human being.
We're watching this in like 320.
It's the same shit that they use at hospitals to give you the ultrasound. That's what we're watching.
If you could get video on Nokia phones back in the day, this would have looked.
Now it's looking good. Shit.
Well, now it's buffering.
It's like we were looking at a two-way.
But I mean, this is you know, so I'm pretty psyched about this movie.
Krampus is coming out, guys. And Krampus is supposed to be a joke. I think the league made it up. I think.
No, come on, no. Krampus was actually a folklore, like German folklore. This was a real.
I didn't think this was real.
No,
Enlighten me.
This is a real story they told their kids over there. You know, if you're not good, Krampus is coming. You know, it's kind of like almost like
Evil Santa.
Satan and hell. You know, if you're not good, you're gonna go to hell. If you're good, you know, God's, you know, blah blah blah, heaven. You know,
You go to the most boring party ever.
Santa Claus or Krampus. You know, so this is actually a true story that they used to tell kids.
That's crazy. Here I am thinking it started on some fucking fantasy football show.
Fantasy football show. No.
It's not a superhero movie. There are so many superhero movies coming out. I can't even tell you I'm looking forward to them because I'm just going to watch them. It's going to happen. Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, whatever else is, Captain America, Civil War 1 and 2.
Suicide Squad, the new trailer is fucking amazing. See, I wasn't even psyched about the movie until the new trailer came out. The teasers.
They've actually already said that Ben Affleck is going to play the Batman in Suicide Squad. So they have the scenes. There's actually a really cool scene of Batman. I think he's on the Joker's car, and he's like on the hood, and he's like punching this shit, and it's driving through the city like fucking crazy.
Looking forward to that.
I'm kind of on the fence about Jared Leto, or Leto, however you say his fucking name. Jared Leto. I'm on the fence about it because I can hear it in his voice that he's using an inspiration from what he had before from Heath Ledger. You know, he pretty much laid down the psychotic Joker, and then we had the funny Joker with Jack Nicholson. I feel like this Joker that's coming out with the Jared Leto version, he's more of a sadist. I don't think he's like the twisted version in The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. I don't think he's the twisted version. I think this one, he's more of like a sadist who likes to beat people, and he enjoys it, as they show him in the trailer. You know, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you really, really bad. That's me pretending to be him, pretending to be Heath Ledger. How about that? Is this the new one?
No, I think this.
Oh, it's the first one.
Is this the first one?
Yeah, this is where they talk about, what if we picked up a whole bunch of trash and made one team and threw away the key? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady?
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about?
What surprised me is that Will Smith is getting into the superhero movie genre.
So we just go save the world, huh?
Yeah, right.
So we bad guys now, huh?
What I mean?
We looking for Batman, huh?
Will Smith is the best one out of the Smith family, so we'll just,
You know, they have a third kid.
Yeah,
They have Jaden, Willow, and they have the older son who nobody
told.
took.
The third kid, so everybody knows.
Boom, picture of him right here.
Right there. But apparently he just doesn't want to be in the spotlight, so he said basically, keep that shit away.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, you gotta commend him for that. But this is.
Wasn't this the woman from Wolf on Wall Street? The woman that played his wife, Leo's wife?
It's possible.
I'm almost positive that's her, and she's fucking hot.
But that entire thing right here, this is just so Hannibal Lecter-esque that it's just, crazy.
I watched that the other day, and I got a refresher for it. I loved it.
This is
This right here? This is a little.
That and when they walk into the cell.
This right here?
The room, yeah, they're both very Silence of the Lambs, so you can see where they're drawing inspiration from for some of this shit.
They're trying to get inside the psyche of a serial killer, because these are all supposed to be sick people.
I mean, obviously, this guy with the fucking, what is it, gazelle or goat head mask on with the Uzi. I'm not sure who that is, but it's fucking...
I don't actually know. I don't know much of anything about DC villains, but I do know from what I'm watching is that they have a lot of villains they haven't even thrown into the movies. They got Killer Croc. They're doing a different style of Harley Quinn, not the Harley Quinn you're used to seeing with Tammy Strong.
Let's talk about Killer Croc before you go too far. Could you imagine how shitty a Killer Croc movie would be? Like,
what, a solo Killer Croc movie?
Like, I mean, you would have him opposite of Batman.
Dr. Connors? I don't know.
Like, I mean, but who? You can't throw Killer Croc into a fucking Batman movie, or just would ruin the entire movie. It's like.
First of all, Batman would beat any crocodile, human or none.
I mean, Steve Irwin would beat Killer Croc.
Fucked up, dude. Fucked up.
It's not, fucking Killer Croc. Come on. Like, who? I want to know who wrote the Killer Croc comic. I want to talk to that guy. We need him to come here and talk to us so we can get behind Killer Croc.
If I had to say, I'm definitely a Marvel fan, though. I love Batman and I love my Joker, but Spider-Man, every day, all day, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the shit, but if we go and we talk about as a whole, like just a collection of heroes and villains, I mean, just Spider-Man does it for you, right? Just Spider-Man, that's it? Like
No. I like Spider-Man because he's from where I grew up, and when I say from, I mean like fake from. It's from Queens. I'm from Queens, so I like that shit. That means that
Stanley's balls. Is that what you mean?
What?
You're both from Stanley's balls.
Basically, we were born in Queens. We lived in New York. Spider-Man was smart. I was stupid, and I liked him because he was smart. So in another word, he's like my alter ego. I relate with Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. That's my number one.
Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire?
Me. Childish Gambino. Can we get him to be Spider-Man?
Can we throw up a picture of you as hipster Spider-Man for Halloween?
Yeah, we could do the one with me squatting down.
Yeah, that's right.
We can do it. There's going to be a lot of editing.
So, here we go. We need hipster Spider-Man. Ding! And then we need Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Ding! And then we need Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Yes.
I'll answer you correctly. I'll take Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire is fucking.
I didn't like the whole skater Spider-Man.
Exactly. Andrew Garfield. I mean, I don't look at him as a cool person, but he was too cool to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was doing kickflips and shit.
Spider-Man was a very reserved,
he's a fucking nerd.
He's a nerd.
He's a fucking nerd. He shouldn't be kickflipping.
He's one of us.
He shouldn't have been kickflipping. That's all I'm saying. If Spider-Man's a fucking nerd, he should have been hitting the books.
Spider-Man can't kickflip. I think that needs to be a new campaign. Like, Spider-Man can't.
Hashtag Spider-Man can't kickflip.
You know, so it's.
Hashtag it if you know it's real.
I wish that we would have started this when The Amazing Spider-Man came out, just so
To bash
we
him?
could spend an hour and a half making fun of that movie. And then do it again when the second one came out.
It blows my mind when British actors have to make their voice like Americans, and then you can like see it when they cry. When they cry, like Rick Grimes when he cried for Laurie, he
Andrew
completely
Lincoln.
changed. Yeah, Andrew Lincoln. He went from "Where's Carl?" to "Oh, Laurie," and you're like, dude, that went away real quick.
It's hard to cry in English, though. I mean, you know, American. It's hard to cry
Teen
in
crumpets.
I mean, okay, like
It's always raining.
it's hard to cry in a Southern racist American accent. How would you do that? Like, I mean, I don't think.
How would I do that?
I don't think. There you go. That was spot on. That's a southern.
Southern
racist
cry.
laugh. Southern fried laugh. There you go. But
Yeah.
you know, well, what about? Did you read the thing about Andrew Lincoln not ever watching an episode of Walking Dead?
That blows my mind, and it explains a lot.
That's what they say. I mean, I think he's fucking fantastic.
I think it would be really hard to not watch your own work, but at the same, like, how do you know you're a good actor if you never watch your own work?
Well, here's my.
Are you that cocky?
Here's my take on that. It's not about being cocky. What it is about, like, think of it this way. Okay, like, you think that you would want to watch it back to get an idea what you can work on in terms of, like, your mythology acting. But let's also look at it as he's filming a show about zombies. If he starts watching the show, then it just becomes a show. You know what I mean? If he doesn't watch it, then he's kind of always in that character.
I like the way you think.
If that makes sense. That's how I look at it. Because I think Andrew Lincoln's a smart guy. I think he's a terrific actor. I mean,
He's a hell of an
he
actor.
has his choral moments, but you know, it's,
Coral!
but it's,
Get in the coral!
I mean, you remember,
That's car with an L.
you remember when why can't I remember his wife's name on the show?
Laurie!
Laurie. Remember when Laurie died? I mean, that was a fantastic.
Spoiler alert! I
Yeah.
have a little ding right there.
But you know, Walking Dead, and Morgan, the guy that plays Morgan. What's his name?
Oh, the actor's name?
Yes.
I don't
You
know.
the actor's name. What is the actor's name?
Not a good question. I think I did know it, but I don't know.
Denzel Washington. Morgan Freeman's little brother.
Morgan, not free.
Morgan, not Freeman.
Morgan locked up, man. All right.
But anyways, so he's British, you know.
Really?
Yeah, he's British. You didn't know that? Yeah.
Oh, I feel like he was in another movie where he actually did speak with his real accent, and it was like a gritty film, kind of like Green Street Hooligans.
Great movie, by the way.
Awesome. First movie I ever liked by Elijah Wood, and actually made me a fan of Elijah. By the way, guys, this is Elijah Wood's fill-in body double, stand-in. His freaking, anybody needs Elijah Wood look-alike? This guy. Just put a coat on him
All right,
so you
so-
can't see his tattoos.
Here we go. I think we will stop on Elijah Wood and we'll continue Elijah Wood on our next show. But what we need to talk about is, I think we need to talk about Cooties. Has anybody seen that? You know, I've watched it.
He's been telling me to watch it.
It's fucking fantastic.
I
He'll
regret
have it
myself
watched-
for not watching it, but
He'll have it watched by the next episode, and we'll go into Cooties, and we'll delve into Elijah Wood and how he's made his comeback in indie horror. And you know, we'll touch on Maniac, we'll touch on Cooties, and we may touch on Granny. You know,
we gotta touch on Wilfred too. Wilfred's a little out there for him. And not gonna lie, it's a really good show if you're lost. Like, honestly, like, this is me not being funny. Yeah, if you're lost in life and you can't make sense of your purpose, watch Wilfred. I promise you, every quote at the beginning of every episode is gonna open your eyes. Just that much.
Okay,
It's a good
well, you know, we'll stop the gay shit. Other than that, we'll put all the links to everything we mentioned down here somewhere. On
Don't
the
forget
screen.
to subscribe to us. If you guys have any additional comments, or is there anything else that you want us to talk about, if you guys want to know film techniques, we're here for people like us. So if you want to learn film techniques, you want to learn about equipment, put it in the comment section, talk about it. Maybe the next episode we'll have some that everybody can work on. You know, like a favorite shot, what kind of lens, how do you light a certain scene, whatever it is. Comment it, guys. Let us know.
All right.
So I guess that wraps it up. This is Hard Luck Media. Bryant here with popcorn the whole time. He called it.
Yep, the hetero life partner.
Hetero life man, Andrew.
You know what? We will see you later.
Take care, guys.